Hello, my friend. It's Julie. I am so grateful to be here as your host, your friend on the journey with you, coming home to your Youest You, to my brothers and sisters, far and wide, near and far, all over the globe, wherever you might be. Welcome. I'm honored to be here with you in your earbuds and hoping that today's solo-sode, my little conversation with you and me, I hope this really does add value and helps you to really connect at a deeper level with yourself. Ultimately, I just really believe this to my core that whatever it is we want to experience in the world, whatever it is we want to see in the external world and the outside, it always comes back first to the internal world, to what you believe about yourself, how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself. So, I'm going to be talking today about honoring your Youest You. And I actually have a story to share right up front. This is actually how I decided to talk about this today. I have been using this terminology, gosh, almost 7 or 8 years now. It came to me when I was rebranding, looking at my business, working with two beautiful souls who are all about helping to birth your greatest purpose with Allie and Michelle from Soul Camp. And we were talking about what is it that I care most about? Like, what is it that I really want to make sure I get across in my branding, my wording? This is before I had this podcast. And I just remember saying, I just believe that each of us, the chances of being here are so incredible. I mean, like literally, the number's so absurd. It's like 14 billion zillion chances of just you being born, between all the sperm on your dad's side and the eggs from your mom's side that could have been fertilized. Like the fact that you're here is a miracle. The fact that I'm here is a miracle. And I really believe that in us, each of us, there is a power to create, a power to heal, to love, to uplift. In each of us, we all have that. And the way that that expresses is unique and individuated. So while we have one creator, in my humble opinion, whatever you call that, we're all created as outpourings of that love. And you have certain gifts and talents and very specific, unique ways of expressing and being of service and helping and supporting and loving that are unique to you. And I'm kind of obsessed about making sure as many of us as possible in the world, myself included, don't go to the end of life. Don't take your last breath feeling like, you missed it, like you didn't get to really actualize, connect with, align with your higher self, your purpose, your soul. And so we were talking and I said, I remembered the like, no one's more youer than you, right? That awesome phrase from Dr. Seuss. We were talking and it was like, oh, I just feel so strongly about being your most truest you, your youest you, and realize, oh my gosh, that's it. That is it. So fast forward, it's been about 7, 8 years. I have really been hyper focused on this topic. Hopefully, if you've been around, even if you're new, this podcast, this platform, it is all about interviewing some of the most well-known luminaries, experts, best-selling authors, elders with wisdom, people who are being courageous enough to follow their bliss, their guidance from within, their deeper desires, their heart. And I believe the more that we're in community, the more that you and I hear these stories, the more it can feel there's more support, that rally, that cry, that call to follow our own hearts. So that's been just, it's really been a labor of love for me, this whole journey, this podcast. And one of the things in my own journey, I recently got myself back onto the yoga mat. I took a year and a half off. I had hurt my back about a year and a half ago. It was actually on 2222. And I definitely believe there's meaning to that synchronicity, two being that powerful number in numerology, all about partnership, right? Partnership, getting support, not trying to go it alone. And I was overdoing it, pushing myself, especially with exercise and movement and just in that hustle mode, which I have since learned absolutely does not work. So I ended up experiencing a low herniated back disc. And it was very minor, but it really, really not only hurt a lot, it really had me go deep within and ask myself, what is the message? And I've shared this before. I went on a walk after crying, seeing my chiropractor, realizing what had happened, not being able to bend over or move a whole lot. And I just said to I asked my inner wisdom, I asked my heart, I asked my spine, I said, what is it that you need? What is it you need from me? And I heard her say, Julie, stop putting pressure on me. And I have to say, from that day on, I have really been listening. I have been resting and relaxing and taking time away and out of that place of doing, right? The overt masculine energy of doing and trying and pushing and striving, and realized that what I was really hearing from my soul, from my meest me, is to rest, to receive, to chill, to really to unplug. And so one of the things that I used to love to do so much, I've been practicing yoga for a long time. I stopped for a year and a half, and I just really, I was scared to bend, to move in those ways, and brought in movement in very basic ways. And so finally, a couple weeks ago, I decided it's time. It's time, checked in with my body, and I've been slowly bringing it back. And I'm so grateful. So I've been going, my gym has a lovely, lovely studio with incredible teachers. I go to a Lifetime in the Maryland area, and I love the yoga classes. And I found a teacher who I just think is fantastic. Her name is Allie. We were chatting and talking a little bit. And I said, I really appreciate this gym. I appreciate the studio. I appreciate the way that you're taught just to be compassionate, loving of your body. And I said, I got to interview Bahram Akredi, who's the CEO. I hope I said that right. The CEO of Lifetime. And I interviewed him a few years ago. It was a really neat interview, and his passion and thoughts about wellness and health and doing that in community. And she couldn't believe, she was like, oh my God, that's so cool. No way. And she said, what's your podcast? I said, oh, it's called the You-est You. And so she said, oh my gosh, no way. Do you have cards? Do you have like intention cards? Because I just bought a pack of intention cards that say the You-est You intention cards. I got them at a nearby boutique, and I love them. I use them with my daughter. And I said, yes, those are my cards. In fact, I have them with me. I always carry with them. I pick them all the time myself. And I'm going to grab them now because I'll make sure to pick a card at the very end of this, because that is how I roll. Little wisdom for all of us, inspiration. And she said, Julie, I was talking to my daughter about these cards, and you must have known when you chose You-est You, like what it means. Okay, my friend, I was like, what are you talking about? No, I don't know what it means. I mean, I know what it means because I made it up, like truest, youest, the most connected version of yourself, the most authentic version of yourself, right? And she said, no, but didn't you know? Her daughter's taking Latin. And she said, yeah, so est, right? EST means are. So we've been talking about how brilliant this is. It's you are you. And I just was floored. Like, I did not realize the deeper meaning of You-est You. You are you. So here's the cool thing I want to share. This is how I roll in my world. And hopefully you're following this story. I have been talking about A Course in Miracles for a while. I interviewed Alan Cohen, who wrote A Course in Miracles Made Easy. I've had my beloved dear friend, teacher, mentor, Barbara Stanny Houston, who has written many best-selling books, Sacred Success, Overcoming Under-Earning, Rewire for Wealth. She is an avid A Course in Miracles student for 40 years, and she integrates that in her books. And I've been working with her through the course. It's a little lesson every day. And that day, my friend, that day that I got back into yoga, the lesson of the day was basically the reminder, for those who know the phrase that comes up, the biblical phrase, I am that I am, right? When when God is, I believe, talking to Moses in the burning bush and says, I am that I am. And the lesson for that day And I see this less religious, more spiritual, but it was, I am spirit, right? I am of this creator. I am of this love. I am of this light. And I was really sitting with that, meditating with that. And she said, yeah, you are you. And I thought, wow, that's like, to me, the version of I am that I am. I am that spirit. I am of this creator. You are you. You are a greater soul, a greater being. And I got to share, and I'm hoping you're following with me. And if not, that's okay too. But let me just say, I was bawling on the mat. Like literally, it looked like sweat all over around my mat. It was tears. I just was so grateful for this synchronicity, for this feeling of being loved and cared for and guided. And I wanted to share that with you because I love this greater, deeper meaning of your Youest You. So I want to talk about this. You are you. Well, the question might be, who are you? That's why I am coming back to the Course in Miracles. I love this reminder. It's something I've known since I was little, and being a, human member of this world. There's a lot in our world, in our programming, in the marketing, in so many aspects of our life that can be, that's infused, unfortunately, often with fear, with doubt, with comparison, with attack. And I don't want to focus on that. What I want to focus on is that you and I, we have the ability at any time to shift our thoughts, shift our perspective. As many of you might know, miracles, especially as it's defined in A Course in Miracles, is about a shift in perception, a shift in perspective. So I have been working, oh my gosh, every day. It is such a gift. I love this work so much. And really gratefully, my husband has actually joined me. So I listen to the lesson every day. I have two different teachers I listen to. I take notes on it. I have all these alarms in my phone. I remind myself of the different lessons. And then I listen again at night and then write down any notes. And I've been doing this now. Today I'm at day 111. So be it. So these lessons come back to this reminder of who you are. So my question is, my friend, who are you? Who is your Youest You? What is your Youest You? I would actually take some time to sit with this. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, right? And here's the thing. You're not your bank account. I'm going to just remind you of this. You're not your bank account. Either way, whatever's in your bank account or not in your bank account, you're not your money. You're not your appearance, right? You're not your successes and you're not your failures. I don't love the word failures. I think of it as learnings, but you're not any of that, right? So who are you then? And that was exactly what hit me that day on the mat when I was thinking about the you are you. I am this creator. I am spirit. Hey, beautiful you, it's Julie. I'm just pausing for a moment because I want to share, in case you don't have this yet, I am going to encourage you to get your hands on my tool set to design your best life. It is free. Here's the copy. And it is pretty darn amazing, if I may say so myself. It is a 25-page guidebook. There are 7 specific practices, one for each day of the week, that are going to help you really to design your best life, to work on your mindset, on your mindfulness practices, designing your day very specifically. I'll show you here. I have a gorgeous tracking system that is all about how you align your values with how you're spending your time. And there's so much more. There's also a little extra free gift in there. I won't tell you what it is, but definitely make sure you get this for you, for your friends, whomever. It is free. Just go to juliereisler.com/toolset to get your copy. And would love to hear, what is your favorite tool out of the 7? Which one did you resonate most with? There is also an audio track in there as well. I've shared one of my quick grounding meditations. So I hope you pick it up. juliereisler.com/toolset. It's free. It's for you. I've used these tools with hundreds of clients and my coaching students, and I use them with myself. So I hope they help you to be your Youest You. All right, back to the show. We are all an outpouring of love itself, of the creator itself, of the great divine intelligent force, of God itself, whatever the word is for you, of the universe, of the source energy. you and I are divine, specific outpourings, individuated expressions. And there is never going to be another version or exact version of you ever again. Now, this might be for some of you. I definitely have this feeling like I've been here many times before. Maybe you're like me. I've done many lives. However, I'm never going to be Julie Reisler again. You're never going to be you again. And so really getting into who are you at the deep spiritual, intricate inner wisdom level, in my humble opinion, is what this is all about. So that question has just totally been on my heart. And that's partially why I want to share it with you. And I'd love to hear from you, whether you email me back or come on over to the Facebook community, the Youest You podcast community. Come on over, share. Who are you? Why? What's important to you? What is your heart wanting to experience? How does your spirit want to express here? So I was meeting actually this morning with my therapist, who also has a background in embodiment work and coaching and energy healing. She's incredible. And we were, I was filling her in and I was just saying, I'm really getting at a very deep level, like I am spirit, I am of this love force. But I got to say, as a human being, I still love beautiful things and experiences. And I'm just like, I'm trying to make sense of that, being both, right? Being a spirit and having a human experience. And, and I said, I really love beauty. Like it feeds me. And so much in my life is beautiful. So much of it is. And some of the things like I can see, I love the house I live in. At some point, I could see another home coming into manifesting that's maybe even more of an aligned fit. And we were talking about that and the power of both and, right? Appreciating what I have. I do appreciate this home right now. My gosh, it's been a godsend. And I can feel this home that I'm like wanting to attract that would have even more space, more green, more places to plant and create gardens and invite beautiful people, souls over to play together and to be in community together. So we're talking about the power of beauty. And she said, Julie, because I started to cry. I said, I don't know why I feel like I shouldn't like beauty so much. Like, I don't know. Is it, is it materialistic? Like she's like, let's go into those feelings. And one of the things she reminded me of is that the divine, Mother Earth, nature is all about beauty, harmony, and love. We even talked about, she said, the path of a mystic is about harmony, beauty, and love. And so something happened. I felt this permission, this opening, like my heart just felt like, wow, something just shifted. And I said, oh my gosh, my spirit is speaking here. My spirit is looking for ways to express this beauty in the third dimensional world that we live in. And I have vision boards with some of these homes and ideas and places that I want to visit, nature, countries, cities, places, beautiful experiences. And then we both had this insight at almost the same time. And I realized, wait a minute, I'm looking at it from a reverse perspective. These beautiful places and areas in nature and homes and whatever it is that I'm looking at and loving, what if that's a reflection of my spirit, like of me? And I'm going to say that to you. What if those desires, what you are longing for, what your soul is asking you for more of, what if that's actually your spirit talking and a reflection of what's inside of you? So, yes, the beautiful experiences, places to visit, hotels, retreats, all of that. And how can I own that beauty in my spirit and who I am now? How can you own if this resonates for you, if beauty is your soul's language? Because what I realize is beauty is my soul's love language. And, in our society, it can feel very superficial, that idea of beauty, right? It can seem like appearances only, and you got to look a certain way. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about this thread of beauty that is experiential, that's at a very deep spiritual level. It can be the appearance of something. It can be something that's tangible. We do live in a world that is touching, where we touch, smell, taste, feel, that has material things. Yet how can you put your Youest You, how can you connect to your Youest You and really make whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's more beauty, maybe it is something material, how can you come at it from a place that is really going to align with your spirit? Because what I am learning, both in A Course in Miracles and just in life, doing almost 49 times around the sun, is that we might think it's the material thing. It's the more money, it's the book deal, the whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. And there's nothing wrong with that. I am all about it. However, I really am seeing, feeling, and getting. I want to share this, that what I believe your Youest You, my meest me, what we're really craving is this truest, deepest, aligned connection with our creator, with the divine, with our higher self. And that means if you go there, if you go within, if you go to that deep center spot in your heart, that you are always, always abundant, always wealthy in love, in infinite possibility. You are always full of this light. You're always full of beauty. Your soul is completely part of the divine creation creator. And so that has been really powerful for me when I think about what does it mean, right, to be your Youest You, and to honor that and to honor what feeds your soul. And so this is a deeper question to ask yourself, what's your soul's love language? What is your soul asking for right now? Be aware, check out your surroundings. Look for the signs. So here's the cool thing, right? After this yoga class, I went up and gave a hug to this amazing yoga teacher. I love her. I love her energy. I love how she teaches. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was really powerful. There's so much that came through to me. You'd have no idea. Now, if I had let my fears and doubts stop me from creating those cards or going to that boutique to sell them because I felt like, who am I to do that? Then she wouldn't have had those cards. So I was grateful. I was grateful to that wise, loving part of myself that said, this is to be of service. So I got off the mat, I got my shoes on, got into the car. I felt a very calm sense of peace, got on the road. And I have to say, for me, a lot of these signs, for those who know me well, come when I'm on the road. I think because I'm in a state of just not overthinking. I literally will see trucks. Like, we've done a lot of the lessons in A Course in Miracles is about your ego. And I've seen these trucks with the hugest letters of ego on them, which just always makes me laugh. And I love to think about ego. The acronym I love is edging greatness out. I've also heard edging God out, which I think is so good. So I get on the road and I make a right. I'm going down the street. And just as I'm about to make a left to get on the main thoroughfare, I see a truck with the big letter E, and on the back it says EST. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's that Latin word R. I didn't know EST meant R. For those who took Latin, you probably knew that. And I just felt this wink, this God wink, like, oh my gosh, you are you. You are meant to be you. You are meant to be, your soul is always calling you home. Just like Ram Dass said, for those who know Ram Dass, who was a amazing spiritual teacher in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, he said, we're all just walking each other back home, right? So where is that home within you? Are you listening to your soul, to those signs, to the greater callings? I have to say that that was such a special day for me to remember, to feel that connection. And I hope that you remember that whatever it is your soul is calling for, what you desire, be it beauty, elegance, be it, greater connection, relationships, partnership, abundance, like whatever it is, when it feels calm and it feels like a yearning and it feels in your heart space, please honor it. Because I can tell you that we cannot go wrong. This is how we start to move into alignment, embodying who we came here to be your Youest You. So if I can be of service to you in being your Youest You, my dear friend, first of all, I hope you will share this episode with anyone that you love. You are welcome to always find me on my website, juliereisler.com. Come find me. I still do Youest You breakthrough sessions using my intuition and yours to help you get really in tune with your soul. What is your soul asking for right now? And if you're interested to help others become their Youest You through the way of coaching, a healing modality, I encourage you to find out more about my Life Designer Coach certification program. You can get on the wait list. We're going to be starting the 10th cohort on 10/10 this coming year. And you can go to my website and you'll see that link there. And either way, no matter whatever you decide, my hope and my prayer, my intention is that you remember that you are way more than this body temple, although we love our body temple. You're way more than your accolades, than what's happening to you, right? You're way more than the things that you wish you could change, the stories, the beliefs. These are not you. Your soul, your spirit, that connection to your inner wisdom that is always loved, that is infinite, that is, I see it as a light that and a greater being of love and grace and gifts to the world that is ever growing, infinite, and here to be a blessing. And so as you listen and you truly connect to your Youest You and you step forward into whatever that might be in your life, what's next, whether it's me or others, find other beautiful light beings doing the same thing. Find others who can support you. Find others, be it friends, community, coaches, therapists, healers. Find others along the path that get it, that also are interested to access and to live their highest purpose. It's hard to do this alone. So I just encourage you to find your high vibe tribe, others looking to be their Youest You, your Youest You. And I just hope, my friend, that you're coming away today not shoving that greater desire, whatever it might be, your spirit, your soul's yearning, not shoving that under the rug, but remembering that it's giving you a message. So I hope you listen to that message. I hope you follow it. Have the courage, core being heart, right? Having the heart and the courage to follow that. And I can tell you one thing, I certainly honor and see and love your Youest You. And I certainly honor the divine light in me that honors the divine light in you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Here's to truly connecting with your truest Youest You. Mwah. Love always.